Okay, what it does is it gently nudges the track. Okay, say for example I got two tracks now, right? And then I have one playing. Okay, just gonna say for example, I'm not gonna play with the sound, just show you guys. Okay, so my purpose actually is to make sure that both beats align. Can you see these two? Okay, first of all, let me teach you how to read sound waves. Okay, there are different colors. If you guys can see the different colors, okay, RGB. Okay, red is your low frequencies. Remember what your low frequencies are? Your bass, your kick drums, okay? And then G is your mids, which means your vocals. Have a look at that other track, right? Can you guys see green over there? Okay, see what is there. Right? And then I fast forward to until the red gonna start. Can you see the red? Right, then you know that that is the bass, okay? And then your blues are your high frequencies, your that kind of sound, okay? Okay. So basically, what let's go back to the jog wheel. We call this a jog wheel, by the way. So what we're actually doing, right, is we're actually trying to make sure that the beats sync with each other. You guys can see these lines over here, right? Is each bar, there are 4 beats in a bar, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, right? So let's say now when I'm playing my next track, I need to make sure that these both lines sync with each other. So that is when I'm going to use this at the side, like that. A line like that. Okay? Can? Okay, so that is for your jog wheel, okay? Now, let's talk about the 3 EQs that I told you about. High, mids and lows. You guys can see over here? Okay, the one at the top down here is your trim. This is actually for your volume. You want to control the volume. Because sometimes when you download music from different websites, right, the volume might differ, right? So you need to make sure you wouldn't want to play one song and then the next song suddenly, bam, like that, everybody gets a shock. Or maybe it's too soft and everyone's like, hey, where's the music, right? Okay, so this is to control, adjust the volume for both tracks. This is your master volume, meaning for everything, right? For both tracks. Okay, high EQs. Now I'm just going to play this track and then I want you guys to have a listen to what happens when I bring down the highs, when I bring down the mids, and when I bring down the lows. Okay? Let's use this one, since everybody knows this song. Okay, I'm going to bring down the highs now. Can you hear that? Do you hear a difference? Right? I bring down the highs. Now I bring down the mids. You hear that? Do you hear what happened? I do it one more time. Right?
No.
And then I bring down the lows. Do you hear that? Yeah? One more time, highs. It doesn't take it out too much, but it does bring it down significantly. So you can't really hear much, right? Of the vocals. And then the bass. Okay? So those are your frequencies. And then you got the one at the bottom, okay? The one at the bottom, right, is called a filter, okay? You bring it all the way to the right, that is called a high pass filter. What is high pass filter? Meaning it's allowing the higher frequencies to pass and muddling, not really taking it away, but muddling the lower frequencies, okay? You bring it all the way to the left, there is a low pass frequency, meaning allowing the lower frequencies to pass and muddling the high frequencies, okay? So now I'm going to play again, and I want you to have a listen to what happens when I play. Pretty sure that you guys have heard DJs doing this before, okay? It's like a special effect. Hear that? This is high pass. And then this is low pass. Right? You hear that? Yeah, nice. Later on I'll give you guys some time to play around with it, okay? So that is your effects, your filter, okay? And then we got these 2 faders over here. These 2 faders are your volume faders. Volume up, volume down. Very easy, simple. When you introduce your song inside, volume up means must be up all the way. Volume down means must be down all the way, okay? You don't adjust your volume according to, say maybe your deck 2, the song is a little bit louder than deck 1. You don't adjust your volume from here, you adjust from here. This is just to introduce and take it out, okay? Okay? And then over here, in the center is your crossfader. This is like a cheat code of trying to transition from one song to another. You bring this all the way to here, you only hear deck 1. You bring this all the way to here, you only hear deck 2. Bring it to the middle, you hear both. S long as this 2 is up. If this 2 is down, you left, right, you cannot hear anything. Okay? Can? Okay. Okay, now let's talk about tempo. Okay, we did keys just now already. Okay, we did our frequencies, our high, mids, and our lows. Okay, let's talk about tempo. When you are mixing two songs together, right, they need to be the same tempo. Okay, I want to show you an example of me playing two songs with two different tempos, and you hear what happens. Yeah. Okay, say for example, I play this song first. This song, if you guys can see, a bit hard to see because there's a lot of people. If you guys can see over here, the tempo is here. Okay, this one is 120. Let's make it 122. Okay, this one, the original tempo is 120, right? Okay, so now this one is 122, and then I'm gonna introduce the other one with a different tempo. You hear what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, play. You hear that? You see it running? Right? You guys see what happens? So that's what happens when you don't make sure that your tempo is the same. Okay? So let's say for example now this song is playing in deck 1. Okay? The first thing I need to do is I need to cue my next song. Okay? I cue my next song, and then I need to change the tempo. So how to change the tempo is over here. This is your tempo fader. Okay? You can bring it up, bring it down. Can you move a bit? If you guys can see, the tempo is changing. Can you see that? Right? Okay. Can you guys see this word, this MT down here? Okay. MT actually means master tempo. What it does is it actually locks the pitch. I'm going to deselect this now, and I want you guys to have a listen to what happens when I don't lock the pitch. Okay. So now I'm going to change the BPM. Let's go to vocal so you can hear. Hear that? Changes the pitch when I change the tempo. So what this master tempo does is I can now change the tempo to whatever I want, right? It will not change the pitch. You see, It just becomes slower. The pitch doesn't change. It doesn't become higher, it doesn't become lower. It doesn't become like Alvin and the Chipmunks or anything like that, right? Okay? So, gotta make sure that is switched on all the time. Okay? So, this is how you change your tempo. Okay, so say for example now my previous song is 122, right? And I want to change my tempo for this. So I got to change it to 122, like that. Okay? And then that's how I'll kind of introduce it in. Like this. Now you have a listen to what happens when the tempo is the same. Now it works well, yeah? Right? Okay, so this is basically what you're trying to do. Okay? Alright. Now let's look at the buttons, the other buttons on the controller. Okay? So we went through the mixer already, right? Okay, and we went through this jog wheel. Now let's look at these over here, okay? So these are what we call performance pads. Okay, I will go through that in a bit. Let's just talk about the cue and the play button. You guys see this cue here? And then this play button. Play button are pretty self-explanatory. You guys understand what it means, right? Press play, it plays. Press pause, it pauses. Okay? Now, let's talk about this cue button. Okay. This cue button, I want you guys to think of your music, right, like a line of clothing. Okay? You know, where you hang your clothes. And think of your cue button, right, like a clothes peg. So whenever your music is paused, and you press this cue button, right, you are instructing this cue to kiap down there, to peg over there. Okay? So why do we use this? We use this sometimes, right, to just build momentum. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen DJs doing this. Right? So we use it to either preview, because if you press it and you hold it, right, it actually plays. Can you see that? Okay? But if I let it go, it jumps back to wherever I pegged it, right? So we use it, say for example, like I said, maybe the vocal intro, or maybe let's look at Maybe let me drag another song. Say for example, maybe this intro a bit too long. I don't want to start here. Maybe I want to start here, where the bass starts, right? So what I will do is, okay, then I come here, and then I press the Q. Okay, look at what happens, yeah. You see that triangle? Okay, so that is the Q. Okay, so now if I press play, right, and now I press Q, it will jump back to where I queued it. But if I press play and I pause it, it pauses the music wherever. So the Q button is actually very great for us because maybe sometimes you just want to hear whether the song goes well with the previous song. And then you're okay, it goes well. And then now you have to scramble to go all the way back to your starting point. Why do that when you can just play and then press Q and you already kept it down there. Okay? Okay? Okay. So that's the Q button, yeah? And then we got play button. Okay, now let's look at these performance pads. There are several, which I won't go too much into detail because I would like you guys to have some hands-on if anybody wants to volunteer, okay? So we got hot cues. So this hot cue, there's two different types of cues. One is the main cue, okay? Think of it as your clothes peg. And then we got hot cues. What are hot cues? They are actually little tags that you can put on your song, little messages that you want to tell yourself, oh, here is where I want to loop it, or here is where the vocals are too soft, maybe I want to increase. Any kind of message, or here is my starting point, or this is where I want to press, this is where I want to end. Okay? So you can press it anywhere. Say, for example, if you look at this song, okay? Can see over here? We got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. You see, now I just put it anywhere in the song, right? See? I put a tag on the song now. Maybe I put somewhere else. Maybe here. Maybe here. Okay? Like that. So maybe if I want to jump to a certain section of the song also, I can use that. Like that. Right? Okay? Understood? Okay. So these are your hot cues. It can be very useful to you, especially when you just started. Okay. Now, okay, within tempo. Okay. Over here, right? These are actually special effects. Okay. If I click over here, right, there is a drop-down box that will come down over there. Can you guys see? Right? You can choose what kind of effects you want to give. Maybe I want it to echo. Say for example over here, okay? Then you guys can see 1, 2, and then 1 and 2, right? So 1 means your effect goes to deck 1. 2 means your effect goes to deck 2. 1 and 2 means both decks will have the effect. Okay? Say for example, maybe I want to do echo over here. Okay? So I just toggle it on, and this I can choose how much of echo I want. Can you get here? Right? Okay, maybe I can do reverb. Reverb gives you a very big room kind of sound. Can you hear that? You guys hear that? Right? Reverb is very nice for right before the bass drops. Okay. Right. Okay. Now let's just talk about simple beat matching, okay? Let me find 2 tracks. Let's just use these 2 then. Okay? I think I need this. Oh no. Somebody help me. Should be okay, okay. You all can hear me. Actually, I can talk like that, right? Yeah. You all can hear me? Okay, cool. Okay, so let's talk about simple beat matching. Remember I told you the first thing that you need to do is change your BPM, right? Okay, my first song, the BPM is 122. My second song is what? 121.47. Let's change it. Okay? Use this to change. Okay. Right. So I changed it already. Now both of them are the same, yeah? Okay. Let's say for example this is playing. Okay. So then I want to find where is my first cue point that I want to start. Maybe I want to start here. Okay? So then I'll play it first cue. So I'm ready now. Okay? So usually what I do when I first start, right? When I want to introduce the next song, I will cut the lows And the mids and the highs, I will put it maybe around 11 o'clock. Why do I do that? Because I don't want it to be too jarring. When you're going to put both songs together, it might be a bit too loud, okay? My purpose is to blend two tracks together and seamlessly transition from one song to another without anybody even knowing that it's the next song, right? Okay, so I'm just going to fast forward here. Say, for example, okay, so I'm ready. I already put a cue point for myself. Over there, you can see the D, right? So that's why I'm going to press play. Okay. Okay, coming soon. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play. And then I adjust the jog wheel to make sure that the beats are aligned. Then I bring up the volume. Right? Then, now whatever I give to my deck 2, I take away from my deck 1. Right? And maybe I apply some filter. Okay, before I swap the bass. Like that. Smooth. Then I slowly kind of EQ it out. Okay? You guys hear that there was 2 tracks? Not really. Ish? Not really, right? And then I slowly bring it down. Like that. Done. Okay? Okay? You want me to show you another example?
Yes.
Yes. Fun, huh? Okay. Let's use this. Manet. You all know this song, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even remember how this song sounds like, but let's just try it out, huh? Let's hear first. Okay, boring. Okay, maybe this is where I want to start, okay? This is my next song, okay? My first song is will be the My Neck, My Back, okay?